Hi everyone. So in this video, we're going to talk about the question, why do you read the directions in your videos? So if you've noticed, when I go through the assignment videos, I do read you the directions that are on the page. And so every few terms I get asked that question or something similar. It might be, why do you make the videos like these? Why do you do this? And sometimes it's followed up with, do you think we're stupid? So to answer that question first off, no, I don't think any of my students are stupid. I do this because as an educator, my goal is to reach as many people as possible with my information. So, for example, some people are auditory learners. You will know if you're an auditory learner if you learn best when you hear the information. So, for example, you could read something in the book and it might not stick, but then somebody says it out loud and you're like, oh, I get this. That would be someone who is an auditory learner. Some people are visual learners. They need to read it. And so that's why I have the written breakdown. It's for the people who are those visual learners, where they need to read something in order to retain it and be able to use it. I have for any of you who are tactile learners, that's the sample assignment and the video. That's about as close as we can get with an online class. Tactile learners, they need to do things for themselves. They need to feel it. It needs to go through their body. This could be, for example, someone who needs to take notes about everything that they've read. It needs to go through their body, and as soon as they write it down, it's then memorized. And so that's a tactile learner. And so by providing a sample assignment, it gives them a visual they can use and they can then write down and create their own. It's the closest I can come for tactile. The other thing is I do have some students who come through my classes who have learning disabilities. Perhaps the student has dyslexia or visual processing disorder or ADHD or autism. Or even I've had some students who have had physical problems where they can't read everything properly. It could be something as simple as I had a student once who accidentally scratched her cornea and couldn't read anything in the class for a week. Her vision was only impacted for a week, so there was no point in spending money to get the readers that they can use to read the information to you, etc. And so having the videos was helpful. And she actually reached out to me, and I actually went through every single page for that week of the class and read her everything that was on the page. So she had videos for each of those. Um, Instances like that where it's something medical or health related, we can always work through them at the time. So just keep that in mind should anything happen. But I want to talk a little bit about the learning disabilities. So I understand how difficult it can be for students with, for example, dyslexia to be able to read. And you might be saying, well, what does ADHD or autism have to do with it? Depending on the kind of autism, the student might learn better with an audio as opposed to visual. It's something that happens. They might need to hear a voice in order to be able to understand it and process it correctly. ADHD, perhaps the attention is not there to read, but if you hear a voice and the animation that comes with the natural human voice, that can sometimes be helpful. And dyslexia, full disclosure, my son has dyslexia and my father has dyslexia. My father's dyslexia is so severe that he can only read at a fourth grade level, so he is barely considered literate. Um, his dyslexia, no one ever did anything to help him his whole life, and so he's always struggled. So depending on what the person has going on in terms of different learning abilities, etc., different learning styles, these audio directions can actually really come in handy for some people. So that's why I provide them. And my big message, I want all my students to be able to receive and understand the information in a way that best suits their learning styles and needs. So for example, if you are an auditory learner, you will love having the videos because you'll be able to hear the information. If you are a visual learner, then you just want to read the breakdown and you don't want to watch the video, and that's fine. Or you might want to watch the video but put the captioning on so that you can see what I'm saying. And one of my big things is I want all my students to be successful. And if making these videos can help the people who have learning disabilities, who are audio learners, if it can help these people, then that's what I want to do. That's my goal. That's why I make them. It's not because I think poorly of my students. It's actually the opposite. I think the world of my students and I want to be able to help. And if I can help just through creating a video, then I'm going to do it. So I've had students who've said, I I watched the video, I read all of this, and I still don't know what I'm doing. And they've really struggled with completing assignments and things like that. And the number one thing I say is, let me know how I can present the information in a way that will better suit your learning style. So if it's unhelpful to have a video that discusses it and to have an assignment breakdown that writes it, or to have um, the sample assignments you can look at, so you've got the video, the sample, the breakdown. If none of that's working, then let me know what will work for you. What's worked in the past? What's been helpful? What have you found to really work? I had one student who actually told me that she wanted the written transcripts of all the videos that I wrote. And I don't write a transcript, I just speak as I go. But I did my best to kind of, why don't you use the closed captioning to work with her on that, because she needed that correlation. She needed to see both at once. It's about what's going to work best for you. You don't need to disclose your learning disability to me, but give me some information. You don't have to email me and say, I have dyslexia, I have ADHD, I have whatever it is. You don't need to do that. But if you let me know, this is how I learn best, that's helpful to me. Let me know, reading the assignment breakdown does nothing, but I watch the video and I get it. I will make sure there's videos. I have had students who've asked me to make personal videos for every announcement that I do that I send just to that student because the student needs the audio for those. And that's fine. I've done that and it's worked. Um, I provide all of these as tools for you to help you and to make things easier for you, to make it easier for you to complete assignments, to make it easier for you to be able to understand different things. And so if you can't use them as tools, I want to know what I can do to make tweaks and to make changes so that you can use these as tools so that they are beneficial to you. Because that's my overall goal. I want to make sure that I'm providing you information in a format that best suits you. So if you are, for example, a visual learner and you want more visual things, let's say you learn best with pictures and you want some visuals, some pictorial directions on some of these assignments, and you want to see different things, I'm more than happy to do that. I've done that for other students where, hey, can you just quick couple screenshots show me this? I can do that. But the key thing is you have to let me know what else I can provide that will help you. Um, Kind of caveat to all of this, I do not go through and tell you, okay, go read this and type this in this box. Go read this and type this here. I've had students ask me to go and do that, basically do the assignments for them. I don't do that. I don't do assignments for my students. And I don't do like step-by-step directions, like click this, type this, click this, type this. I don't do those type of directions either, because that's not beneficial to anyone in the long run. But again, please let me know what I can do to help you. My goal is to make this class easy for you. And if you're reading the directions and you are listening to those videos and doing all of that, then this should be a fairly easy term for you. I just want to be able to help, and I can't help if you don't let me know what best suits your learning style. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this explanation and my answer to your question. And thank you.